everyone. So today we are going to discuss about one of the new topic of pandas, which is pivot table, and that is mostly used in Excel. That's one of the most powerful feature we do have in Excel, and the same thing pandas is also allows us to do. I mean, we can also use a similar function. We call it a pivot table function in pandas. So we are going to talk about pivot table today. uh, I'll be taking a simple data and I'll let you know that how to use pivot table and how we can basically reshape our data using the different options that we do have under pivot table. So to do this, I'm going to take this sample data. Here it is. And this data looks like, I mean, that do have some different columns like account, name, representative, manager, product, quantity, price, and status. So after viewing it, it seems like kind of a sales data for any of the XYG company, where we do have the accounts, the name of, I mean, maybe the client name and the representative, the manager and the product and their quantity with price and status. So we are going to utilize this data to basically apply the pivot table functions here. So let me read it. How are we going to read it? That was the Excel file. So let me give it a name, a df. So we are going to read it pd dot read underscore Excel, and let me copy the path. Here it is. And the name of the file was sales funnel, and it was the Excel file. So the extension was XLSX. And I have to add R because otherwise it will give the Unicode error. So let me give it here. So we have imported the data directly. Now what we are going to do for the convenience sake, now we'll do some reshaping kind of a stuff with this data. So first we'll try to apply the simplest pivot table to that data, that how it this particular function works. So the name of the function is pivot underscore table, and we are going to apply this on df function, df data frame, where I want to have my index as one of the columns. So you can use any column. Let me give it this particular column as an index. So I'll be passing it like this. Here it is. So this is what it does. So have you noticed that it has reshaped our data? Now our name column has become our index, and it has given you the output of all the numeric columns only. It has not included the categorical columns. Have you noticed that? I mean, representative and manager and product with the status are not shown into this table. So by default, if you apply a pivot table function and you pass any index value to this, so it gives output for all the numeric columns that we do have in that particular data frame. So might be, in case you want a specific column to showcase, we do have that option as well. And in case you want to uh, pass more than one index, so we can do that as well. Let me do it. So how we are going to do it? I mean, let me write it here. Pass multiple indexes. So how we can do it? Pd dot pivot table as the function, and the data frame is df, and we are going to pass multiple columns into the index. So the first is the name, and second that we can take, let me check it. Second we can take as representative and manager. Let's do it in sequence. Representative, and then we have manager. Now let me run it. You will notice it's index, so we have to pass something like this. So here now we have created three columns as an index, three categorical columns, or you can say the object type of columns we have created as a index column. So now after looking into this, what we can do, what probably we want to look at this by manager and representative. You know what we observe, that there are multiple representative under one particular manager. That's what you can see. So we'll make a bit changes to a data. Let me copy the code and I'll pass it something like this. I'll take manager and representative. A name is not needed to me, so I'll just not take that into the consideration. So I'll take manager and representative. So it will give me output in that way. Now it looks much better than the previous version. You see that it was looking some uh, typical to understand. I was not able to get what is happening there under what representative or for which manager. I was just checking out the duplicate values. So that's why I applied the pivot table this in that way, and you have to keep trying. You know, it will be coming with the practice. There is no fixed set of rule that this is the only sequence that you're going to apply for into the pivot table for that particular index attribute. So this is what we did. It looks much better than the previous one. Now what we want to do, let's say it by default showcases us all the numeric columns. I don't want to showcase, let's say, the price or the quantity. I just want to showcase one of them. So we should have that option as well. And to do this, how we can do it? Let me write it like this. And then we have values to handle that particular numeric columns. So that's a new argument that we can pass. And here we can mention specifically which column I required to display into that pivot table. So I needed just price only. I just take it manager and representative only, like this, right? So you see that under Dabre Henley, there are four, basically total three representative: Craig, Booker, Daniel Hinton, John Smith, and this is the price that they have generated. So might be if you are not using values, it will give the all numeric columns, but might be you required to showcase only one numeric column. You don't want to showcase all the numeric values. So we have values to tackle that particular situation. Now for example, I needed two output for price. One is I just want to check the average price, and I also want to check the total number of occurrences that we do have for any particular representative and manager, let's say. So some to do in same time, if in case I need a statistic summary as well. So we have an aggregate function to tackle this. That is aggregate function that we can apply. It is quite similar to the aggregate that we applied in group by function. So let me use it here. Let me copy and paste it so that I can directly apply it. Here it is. And let's say I needed the average of the price. So I'll pass it into the aggregate function, and within a list I can pass these two values. For example, I needed the mean of the price, and I needed total number of occurrences, or the count, you can say it. So we can use a length function for that matter. So let me run it. Here what you can see, we have received two values, two basically the output for the values column, which is price, and that is in two way. One is the average price, which is the first one, and one is the second is the number of occurrences that we do have. So the sequence will be coming from this part only. If you write it like this, length and then the mean of that particular value, so it will give us output in that way. I hope it's clear to you now. So you can, I mean, use it as per your requirement. Now let's say I want to basically what I want to do, I need a sum of the total price. I mean the total sum I required for the price, that was the number of occurrences was 4, and that was the average price. So let's say I just checked it out, but now I want to calculate the sum of the total price. I want to calculate the sum of price. So how we can do it? Let me copy the same code, and in aggregate function I can directly pass the np dot sum, either within a list or without list. In case you have to pass more than one value to aggregate function, we will be always using a list to do this. You know, here we have used two values, so we have used list. Otherwise you can pass it without list as well. So this is what, and you say that it has calculated the sum of the price under the particular manager, and we can check the price of each and every representative here. So this is basically, this is the way how we can summarize our data using a pivot table. Now let's say that's one of the option that we can use index and values. There is one other option to broken down the different columns and to summarize the output. That is, we can mention any of the columns in a column in a columns attribute. How we can do it? Let me write it here only. So first we have taken manager and representative. Let's say as a index, values I have taken as a price. Now the next thing I can do, I'll be passing columns, and for columns I'll be taking, let's say, one column which is product. It's up to you which you want to use, and now you want to check the sum of that. So I'll be passing aggregate function. It should be a double g, and then I can directly pass np dot sum. This time we'll be passing into a list. We can pass it like that, this too. Right, guys? So let me run it. What you observe here in the column product, it has given all the unique values that we do have in product column. So we have total 4 unique categories in product. How we can check it? I mean, you just go to this df and you select the column product, and you can simply type the unique function here, and you see that there are total 4 categories to that column. So it has generated 4 columns, because we have to check the sum of each and every unique category that we do have under product column. So what we can see here, that's the price of basically a product for each and every product under each and every manager and representative. So what we can see that the Daniel Hinton has not generated any amount under maintenance and monitor. It has generated the amount for CPU and software. And John Smith did for CPU maintenance, but he was not performing in monitor and software category. And that this is how we can check for each and every representative for that particular output. So this is one of the option where we can use the columns as well. Let's say, these are the nan values. They are a bit distracting to us, and here I want to fill all the nan values. So we have a fill value to do this. Let me copy and paste the code, because we are going to make a bit change here to fill that value. So how we are going to do it? After to this, we'll be passing fill underscore value. And how you want to fill it? Let's say I want to fill it with 0. So once I'll run it, it looks much better, because previously it was showcasing at all the nans, but now it looks much better than the previous version. So now, for example, we want to check this for 2 particular values. One was the price. Let's say I want to check it for another category as well. So that's what we can see. How we are going to change it? We are going to add one more column to this, or two values. That was price, and I want to check it for quantity as well. So I'll be writing something like this. Let me put into the codes that, right. I don't need those extra brackets. That's it. Right. So let me run it. And you see that this time I do have uh, broken down the product into two particular correspondence to two particular column. One is for the price. I have checking the price of each and every product. I'm also checking the quantity of each and every product. So obviously it will be generate it will showcase product category under two parts. One is for price and one is for quantity. So this is what we can see here. Product, CPU, maintenance, monitor software, prices, price we do have. And then we also wanted to check it for quantity. So this time it has given us for quantity, right? So this is how we can use it for multiple values and multiple columns altogether. Now let's say that product doesn't looks better to me to as a column. Let's try to put that into index, so that I mean might be it will look much better to us. So how we are going to do it? I'll remove that I mean the quant I mean the product. Let me remove that part from here. Yes, I'm going to take it price and quantity both. Here it is. Q is in caps for quantity. And then in index, I'll add one more column, which is product. What we did here, in index now we have added product as well, and for values we have two columns, one is price and quantity, and we just check the sum and we have filled that those NaN values with 0. What is the error coming here? That is price and the quantity and then aggregate function, and I have added values df index manager representative product p should be in caps, right? So you see that it looks better than the previous version. Previously it was a bit confusing. I was checking repeatedly the CPU, the maintenance and other for price as well and for quantity as well. Here it looks much better, that I can basically understand that what manager, what representative, and what are the products that belongs to that particular representative, and the price that they have generated and the number of product that they sold out. That's what I can see from here. Isn't it look better? It's a better visual representation than the previous version. Might be you may try it in a different manner as well. So this is one of the option. That's what we can do. Apart from this, for example, let's say you need a sum of all the price and quantity. So by default in Excel we can directly get the sum of the pivot table, but to do this in pandas we have to add one more thing, which is margins equals to true. So it will give us the total directly. You can see that it will generate one more uh, all, which is the total, and all is the default option. Let's say you want to basically rename it, so you can rename it that as well. How we are going to rename it? We can basically give a margins name as uh, total, or you can put it as true. So it will add the values, and in place of all we can get true for this output. So this is what you can do. It's just for you, you try it by yourself. Now this is how we have basically generated this. For example, let's say uh, now let's bit make it more complicated. Let me add some more things to this. So what I want to do, that is the table that I have generated. I have used 3 index, and the column is the I don't haven't used the product column. For example, let me do it well, so that I can let you know how can we apply the advanced queries. So just let me remove that part. So first I have added the index. In index I needed let's say manager, and for example a status. The status is one of the column. This time I'm going to add that here. That is status, I mean, which is the status of the sales of that product. And then we have columns. In columns I want to add product, and here it is. And what I want to check in terms of values for numeric columns, that is quantity and price, let's say. So I'll be adding quantity and then the price column, right? And what I needed uh, I mean the output as the length of the quantity I needed, and I needed the average of price and the sum of price. Let's say two values I needed. So how we can do that part? We can use the dictionary option in aggregate function. How you are going to utilize it? So you can use quantity as a key. Here it is, and the values that you needed for quantities, let's say the length function. And for the other, which is price, I needed two output for this. I'll be writing like this. This would be the syntax. So I can pass that into a list. What I needed for price is the sum and mean. So this is what I can do. So this is how, in using this dictionary, key as the quantity and price, and value for quantity is length, and value for price are two values, which is sum and mean of that function. And we are going to fill it using 0. So I'll pass fill value here only. That's it. Let me run it. Yeah, perfectly. We did it. So you see that we have generated three outputs for a product column: the price, the average price, the sum, and the length of for the quantity as well. So for product, the currencies for all the unique records will be 3. That's what you can see from here. It looks something like this. And for the manager, you can see the status of each and every product, their average price and the sum, and the quantity for all products you can see under each and every category, the status category. That's what you can see. I mean, for example, the presented amount for Deborah Henley for CPU is this, the average price is this, and let's say this sum is this, and let's say the quantity for CPU is this, and there is nothing for maintenance, and software is 2, for example. So this is how we can get from this pivot table. We can create some more complex pivot tables as well. So let's say I'm done with all the I mean the summarization that's I wanted to have. Let me store it to a new variable. I mean, how I'll be using it. That's a final table. Let's say I have stored that into that particular variable. So let me run it once again. So on final table, I can apply some advanced queries as well. This is the final table. So how we are going to do advanced pivot table filtering, we are going to do. Now we can use it using a query. So that was a data final underscore table, and we are going to use a query for this. And the query is, let's say what you needed. You needed all the information which is related to this manager. I don't need it for Fred Anderson. I need it only for Deborah Henley. So I can pass it like this. Manager I needed, and the value for manager is let me use the square brackets, although it is not required, but if you need to pass more than one value, so that is mandatory to pass. So I can write it like this. So it what is the mistake that I made here? That was the final table, and the query that I have applied manager, and I needed, oh yes, I have to close it from here, not from here. So this is how we are going to do it. Not to here. So we have queried out everything which is related to this particular manager. So this is how we can apply advanced query. Let's try for the specific status. Let's say I want to check for let me give it final underscore table, and I'm going to apply the query. And what exactly the query is, I need a status. Let's say the pending status only I require to check. So I'll be writing like this: status, and in the status I needed the pending one. I think that's the, yeah. So that's what I have passed here, and I'll be closing it outside this. Yes, perfect. Right. equals to pending. Oh, yes, pending was, yes, that was there. So the query is status pending. And something I'm missing here. What is this? Yes, I can write it like this only. Status I have given. I have applied the, I mean, if we pass it into double quotes, might be coming with because of that. Yes. Yeah, because the same, you have to use a different option. Either you use double quotes for this or single quotes for this. So this is what we added. That's a very minor mistake. So, this time we have basically filtered out the entire table based on the pending status for both the